Carl Jung, the pioneering psychologist, saw intuition not as mystical guesswork, but as a profound, deeply human psychological function. For Jung, intuition was the unconscious mind's natural way of processing reality, an immediate, instinctive grasping of hidden patterns, connections, and possibilities invisible to conscious reasoning. Jung described intuition beautifully. It revels in the garden of magical possibilities as if they were real. In his eyes, intuitive insights arrived whole, fully formed, without logical steps or conscious reasoning. Yet despite lacking explanation, intuition held a certainty often stronger than evidence. Did you know Albert Einstein credited intuition, not logic, for his greatest discoveries? Imagine intuition as a hidden intelligence inside your mind, capable of recognizing truths beyond rational explanation, predicting events before they occur, and understanding people without needing a single word. But if intuition is this powerful, why do we constantly dismiss or overlook it? Science today confirms Jung's visionary stance. Recent studies show that our unconscious mind processes information thousands of times faster than our conscious thinking. Intuition, therefore, is not some vague mystical feeling, but a scientifically valid cognitive shortcut. Your mind subconsciously recognizes patterns in milliseconds, patterns your rational brain could take hours or even days to discover. Jung believed everyone possesses this intuitive intelligence, but some individuals rely on it more heavily, making intuition their primary guide through life. These intuitive types don't operate through step-by-step logic or cautious deliberation. They perceive reality in flashes of certainty, sensing outcomes long before the rational mind catches up. They see what others overlook, feel truths hidden beneath the surface, and trust insights that cannot yet be proven. But who exactly are these highly intuitive individuals? And why did Carl Jung regard them as among the most misunderstood yet essential personality types in our society? What if you could clearly see the future, but no one believed you? In ancient Greek mythology, Cassandra had precisely this tragic gift, perfect intuition paired with a terrible curse, never to be taken seriously. Carl Jung saw Cassandra's fate as a powerful metaphor for the intuitive introvert's dilemma, profound insight that is difficult, often impossible, to explain or prove in the moment. Jung described introverted intuitives as among the most mysterious and least understood of all personality types. These individuals live deeply immersed within an internal world, a place rich with symbolic visions, imaginative metaphors, and hidden meanings. To outsiders, intuitive introverts appear quiet, reserved, perhaps distant. But beneath this surface silence, they're continuously processing subtle messages from their unconscious minds, perceiving truths in symbolic form that others cannot yet grasp. One of Jung's patients vividly illustrates this internal experience. She arrived one day convinced a black snake was coiled within her body. Most would dismiss her vision as absurd, but Jung recognized it as symbolic intuition. He allowed her intuitive vision to guide the therapy. Astonishingly, her intuition predicted the precise timeline of her healing. After exactly 10 sessions, the snake rose through her body, finally exiting her mouth as she had intuitively foreseen. Her unconscious mind had symbolically communicated her own healing process long before rational understanding caught up. Yet, intuitive introverts constantly face the same struggle as Cassandra. Their insights often appear strange, irrational, or impossible until future events confirm them. People around them demand logical proof, immediate explanations, evidence, precisely what intuitive knowledge cannot provide up front. Thus, intuitive introverts may find themselves isolated, misunderstood, and undervalued, left alone with truths they clearly see but struggle to express convincingly. Despite these challenges, history repeatedly proves intuition right. Tesla envisioned inventions fully formed. Einstein's breakthroughs began as flashes of insight, and countless ordinary people have trusted their gut feelings to avoid danger or seize opportunities long before logic confirmed their choices. Jung deeply understood that the intuitive introvert's greatest strength, their visionary perception, could feel like their greatest curse when others refused to believe. But how can intuitive introverts navigate this painful paradox? How can they embrace their unique gift, communicate their insights more effectively, and live confidently even when the world around them remains skeptical. Why would someone as scientifically rigorous as Albert Einstein boldly claim the only real valuable thing is intuition? Einstein understood what Carl Jung articulated decades earlier. Intuition is not opposed to reason, it often precedes it. Intuition offers the first glimpse into truth that logic can later confirm. But Einstein wasn't alone in trusting intuitive insights. Nikola Tesla, one of history's greatest inventors, famously relied on vivid, intuitive visions. Tesla described clearly seeing entire inventions within his mind, complete and operational, long before building or testing a single component. He recognized intuition as an advanced form of intelligence, stating, "Instinct is something which transcends knowledge. We have certain finer fibers that enable us to perceive truths when logical deduction is futile." Think back to moments you've experienced powerful intuitive insights, maybe avoiding danger, sensing someone's true character, or suddenly understanding something complex. What if those moments weren't lucky guesses, but examples of your subconscious mind performing sophisticated pattern recognition? Carl Jung firmly believed intuition and reason were never enemies, but partners. Intuition reveals possibilities. Reason then explores and validates them. Einstein's revolutionary discoveries demonstrate this perfectly. His theories began with intuitive leaps, thought experiments like imagining riding on a beam of light, before being meticulously confirmed through mathematics and experimentation. Without intuition, reason has no compass to guide exploration. Without reason, intuitive insights remain vague or misunderstood. Philosopher Alan Watts vividly described intuition's role in decision-making. He argued that life inevitably involves uncertainty and risk, making purely logical decisions impossible. Watts suggested intuition fills this gap, providing clarity precisely when rational analysis leaves us uncertain. He compared trusting intuition to floating effortlessly in water. Struggle too hard with logic, and you sink. Relax and trust your intuitive instincts, and you float. Emerson, the American transcendentalist, was equally clear, urging absolute trust in entrust instinct to the end, even though you can give no reason. He insisted intuition offered primary wisdom, an instinctive knowledge surpassing logic, because it integrates vast amounts of subconscious information instantly. This powerful partnership of intuition and reason is further supported by modern psychological research. Studies on implicit learning and rapid decision-making, often called thin slicing, reveal intuition is a high-speed cognitive function that quickly synthesizes vast information below our conscious awareness. Our brains recognize patterns and predict outcomes subconsciously, presenting intuitive conclusions instantly and clearly, long before conscious analysis confirms these insights. Yet despite overwhelming evidence validating intuition, our modern culture remains skeptical, often dismissing intuitive knowledge as irrational or unreliable. This skepticism creates a constant internal conflict for intuitive introverts. Should they trust their intuitive truths or conform to a world that demands immediate logical proof? Carl Jung deeply empathized with this struggle. He understood that intuitive introverts live perpetually balancing their profound internal insights with external demands for evidence and rational explanation. He knew firsthand that their intuitive visions, no matter how clear and certain, would often be misunderstood or ignored until proven true later. But how exactly can intuitive introverts reconcile their visionary insights with a skeptical world? How can they harness intuition's power, overcome isolation, and communicate their insights effectively? Have you ever read a story so profound it felt as though it spoke directly to your own inner journey? Great narratives have always illuminated the hidden power of intuition, symbolizing our universal struggle to trust the quiet inner voice that guides us. Carl Jung deeply valued myths and stories, recognizing them as timeless portrayals of intuitive truths emerging from humanity's collective unconscious. One such powerful story is found in Paulo Coelho's renowned novel, The Alchemist. Santiago, a humble shepherd boy, repeatedly dreams of treasure buried beneath the Egyptian pyramids. With no rational proof, just an intuitive feeling, he chooses to abandon his familiar life to pursue this mysterious calling. Throughout his journey, Santiago learns to read subtle omens, such as the patterns of birds flying overhead or the whispers of the desert winds. These symbolic messages resonate deeply with the experience of intuitive introverts, whose inner worlds speak in a similarly symbolic language. At one pivotal moment, Santiago senses impending danger at an oasis. Despite skepticism from others, he courageously shares his intuitive vision. When events unfold exactly as Santiago foresaw, the community recognizes the profound truth of his intuition. But intuition isn't merely fiction, it's woven into the fabric of real-life human achievement. Srinivasa Ramanujan, one of history's most extraordinary mathematicians, claimed his groundbreaking formulas arrived directly through dreams and intuitive visions. Lacking formal training, Ramanujan startled renowned mathematicians with insights they had never imagined, insights that later proved astonishingly accurate. Isaac Newton, similarly, experienced intuitive revelations that reshaped human understanding forever. Newton's intuitive flash, sparked by watching an apple fall, led to a groundbreaking understanding of gravity, a concept invisible and unimaginable until intuition revealed it. These historical anecdotes vividly illustrate what Jung understood profoundly. Intuitive insights frequently precede rational explanations. Nikola Tesla, whose visionary inventions transformed the world, often saw his ideas fully formed in sudden intuitive flashes. Albert Einstein similarly relied on intuitive leaps before logic filled in the scientific gaps. History repeatedly demonstrates that the intuitive introvert's visionary insight, initially misunderstood or dismissed, often anticipates truths later validated by the world. Yet for all its power, intuition carries a burden of isolation. Jung himself described sensing truths about his patients' emotional states without explicit communication, a powerful but often isolating gift. Like Cassandra from ancient mythology, intuitive introverts often foresee what others refuse or fail to see, forced to carry truths that society may initially reject. Cassandra's fate is the haunting shadow side of intuition, the tragic isolation of knowing clearly yet being unheard and disbelieved. Her story powerfully dramatizes the emotional conflict intuitive introverts face daily, trusting inner truths that defy immediate validation. But Cassandra's tragedy wasn't caused by intuition itself. Her tragedy stemmed from a society unwilling or unable to trust insights that didn't fit existing logic or expectations. Jung recognized this societal skepticism as a central challenge for intuitive introverts, highlighting their crucial need for resilience, patience, and trust. Cassandra, Santiago, Tesla, and Einstein symbolize the paradox of intuitive insight, profound clarity that may initially isolate, yet ultimately illuminates humanity's path forward. But how can intuitive introverts fully embrace this complex gift? Is there a way to master intuition, to confidently harness its insights, communicate them effectively, and live fulfilling lives guided by this hidden intelligence? If intuition is indeed a profound inner intelligence, as Jung passionately believed and modern science increasingly confirms, how can intuitive introverts master it? Jung knew intuitively gifted individuals face two primary challenges: trusting their inner insights fully and communicating these visions convincingly to a skeptical world. For intuitive introverts, intuition emerges naturally and powerfully, guiding decisions, illuminating truths, and foreseeing outcomes invisible to others. Yet their visionary gift becomes problematic when disconnected from practical reality. Jung cautioned intuitive individuals about this risk, emphasizing the need for balance. He encouraged them to anchor their visionary insights through everyday activities, simple tasks like gardening or practical chores. Grounding intuitive visions with intangible actions prevents intuitive introverts from becoming overwhelmed by their inner worlds and disconnected from ordinary life. Jung also taught intuitive introverts to practice patient communication. Symbolic visions and intuitive insights rarely translate neatly into logical explanations, yet communication remains essential. Jung himself used creative outlets, writing, drawing, active imagination, to translate symbolic intuitive insights into clear, compelling language. He recommended intuitive introverts do the same, transform abstract inner visions into relatable narratives, art, or metaphors that resonate emotionally with others. Jung knew that creativity and storytelling build bridges from intuitive insight to rational understanding. Active imagination, one of Jung's favorite techniques, provides intuitive introverts a powerful tool to cultivate their intuitive capacity consciously. By engaging directly with symbolic imagery from dreams or intuitive flashes, individuals deepen their connection with the unconscious mind. Through journaling dreams or creatively visualizing intuitive visions, intuitive introverts develop clarity, confidence, and emotional resilience. Jung believed active imagination strengthened the intuitive function, helping introverts trust themselves deeply even when external validation lagged behind. Mindfulness and solitude are equally important tools Jung recommended. Modern life is often overwhelming, drowning out the quiet voice of intuition with noise, distractions, and external demands. Regular solitude, meditation, or quiet contemplation in nature helps intuitive introverts reconnect clearly with intuition. It quiets external distractions, allowing intuitive insights to rise vividly to the surface. Solitude cultivates clarity, helping intuitive introverts distinguish authentic insights from mere anxiety or imagination. Crucially, intuitive introverts must learn resilience, holding firmly to intuitive truths despite initial misunderstanding or skepticism. History repeatedly shows intuitive insights often precede their validation by years, sometimes decades. Jung himself endured prolonged skepticism before his visionary theories became widely accepted. He recognized that intuitive introverts must patiently trust their insights, knowing time eventually reveals their truths clearly. Ultimately, Jung saw intuition as a gift, profoundly valuable, yet demanding courage, patience, and trust. Intuitive introverts must confidently embrace their unique way of perceiving reality, knowing their inner insights illuminate paths invisible to others. Intuition, according to Jung, represents the highest form of intelligence, integrating subconscious wisdom, visionary insight, and creative imagination into clear guidance. He famously declared, "Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes." To master intuition, intuitive introverts must awaken fully within themselves, courageously trusting inner visions even when misunderstood or disbelieved. They must balance intuitive perception with practical reality, communicate symbolically rich insights clearly, and patiently await validation. In doing so, intuitive introverts transform isolation into visionary leadership, quietly guiding humanity forward toward possibilities previously unimaginable, guided always by intuition's quiet, powerful voice within.